Summit has lots of local destinations, but where do you start? Green Street, a vibrant community space in the heart of downtown, is where Lee Summit comes together. Its 3 dynamic areas have something for everyone. Green Street Market is a modern event venue and home to the downtown Lee Summit Farmers Market. Green Street Lawn is a covered performance space hosting live music, family activities, and more. Green Street Grove is a mixture of gathering spaces, an immersive playground, and bold architectural features. And all 3 areas host community events year-round. So the next time you set out to enjoy the city you love, remember, meet at Green Street.
Hello Lee Summit, I'm Jordan. Here's your flash briefing for the week of July 13th. City Council will meet for a regular session Tuesday night at 6 in Council Chambers and City Hall. Meetings are open to the public or watch live on the city's YouTube channel. If you can't watch, catch the recorded meeting on demand on the YouTube channel or by subscribing to the Council Debrief newsletter, which breaks down 3 to 4 key agenda items. Subscribe at cityofls.net. Downtown Lee Summit Main Street is hosting a sidewalk sale this Saturday, July 18th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Shop local and see all that downtown merchants have to offer. Learn more at downtownls.org. If you see a pothole, report it on LS Connect. It's a quick and easy way for residents to report common non-emergency concerns, such as potholes and streetlights. Simply snap a photo, mark the location, and submit the report. The LS Connect app is free to download on any Apple or Android device. LS Connect is also available online at cityofls.net. Thanks for listening and have a great week.
Every time you turn on a tap, high-quality water is ready. But where does it come from? In Lee Summit, water flows from 2 trusted sources, the Missouri River and its surrounding aquifer. This water is collected and treated in the cities of Independence and Kansas City. In Independence, the Courtney Bend Water Treatment Plant operates 42 water wells. These wells reach 85 to 125 feet underground, drawing water up from the Missouri River aquifer, an underground water source that naturally filters water through layers of soil and rock. The facility filters, cleans, and softens the water before pumping up to 7.5 million gallons a day to Lee Summit. In Kansas City, the KC Water Treatment Plant draws water from the aquifer and the surface of the Missouri River. It then filters, cleans, and softens the water before pumping up to 25 million gallons per day to Lee Summit. In Lee Summit, Water Utilities controls the flow of these sources into the local system. Advanced software monitors the entire system, including 3 pumping stations and 8 water storage tanks, which maintain the water's pressure as it moves through 639 miles of water mains, carrying it to your home and the homes of more than 100,000 citizens. Water utility staff collect samples from throughout the system and send them for extensive laboratory testing, ensuring your water is safe, meeting or exceeding state and federal standards. When you turn on a tap, you're accessing a vast system spanning hundreds of miles, each foot carefully planned and strategically maintained. A system that leverages innovation to harness nature, turning a vital life source into an ordinary convenience, bringing you safe, reliable, high-quality water 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. To learn more about Lee Summit Water, visit lswater.net.
Want to know what's coming to Lee Summit? The Development Minute is here to help. Costco is being built at the southeast corner of 50 and 291. Costco is a membership-based warehouse retailer offering bulk goods, groceries, services, and discounted products. Costco marks Phase 1 of the East Village development and is projected to open in late August. 7 Brew drive-thru coffee is coming to the corner of 291 and Southeast 5th Street. 7 Brew is a drive-thru beverage destination serving coffee, teas, energy drinks, and smoothies. 7 Brew is in final development plan and building permit review. Ovation, a mixed-use development, is in the early stages of construction at 150 and 291. Ovation is a master-planned community featuring housing, commercial development, and neighborhood amenities. Phase 1 of Ovation is targeted for completion this fall. 5-4 Draft House is under construction in the new Oldham Village development. The next generation of 54th Street, 5-4 offers updated spaces, drafts, and dining. 5-4 is slated to open this fall.
All of the city's storm system end up either in a creek or a lake. We have 5 or 6 lakes in the city. We have numerous creeks in the city. All of that is open conveyance, which means there is no treatment. If it goes into the curb inlet, it will end up in a creek or a stream or a lake with zero treatment. Things that people don't know they should not put down the storm sewer system. Grass clippings. We cannot be blowing grass clippings off of your lawn into the street, from the street into the storm inlet. Yard waste, leaves, trash, washing your car. If you have a commercial vehicle, the city by code requires that you wash your commercial vehicle at a commercial car wash. If you're washing your car in your driveway, your personal vehicle, you can wash your car in your driveway by code. Keep in mind though, that all of the soaps, the detergents, everything you use, the waxes on your car will discharge down into the storm sewer. So we would recommend that you use an actual car wash to just get all of that captured properly, and it will then be discharged and managed properly, as opposed to potentially impacting the streams that are nearby. 4th of July comes along, people shoot off their fireworks, they leave them at the edge of their driveway, which is a good place temporarily, let them cool down. But at the end of that, they do not belong in the street to get washed down the street, swept down the street into the storm system. If you don't want to swim in a lake full of trash, we don't recommend you discard your trash that way.
The City of Lee Summit has hundreds of traffic lights across its more than 1,000 lane miles, all managed by the city's Public Works traffic technicians. The work happens inside those metal boxes on the side of each intersection. Inside, technicians program a device called the controller. The controller communicates directly with each signal head via underground wires, telling each light when to turn on and off based on a programmed cycle. City traffic engineers design this cycle to allow traffic to flow as efficiently as possible for that particular intersection. In order to best match current traffic patterns, they install something called a detection system. Detection systems have taken many forms over the years, from sensors in the pavement to radar boxes. But in Lee Summit, they primarily consist of cameras, which workers mount above the traffic signals. These cameras don't record video or your speed. Instead, they monitor the spaces at the front of the intersection and identify when a vehicle is present in a specific spot. Once a vehicle is identified, the detection system sends a message to the controller, which then adapts its standard cycle to best serve the cars that are present. The pedestrian button works in a similar way. When the button is pressed, the controller receives a signal, requesting that it allow that section of the pedestrian walkway to go, which it then inserts into the signal pattern. Technicians also install something called a conflict monitor. The conflict monitor is a device in which they program all the potential patterns of lights that would lead to a collision. If the other systems mistakenly trigger those patterns, the conflict monitor sends the intersection into flash, causing all lights to flash red and directing drivers to treat it like an all-way stop. City traffic technicians implement and maintain these systems so effectively, we rarely consider them. But every time we safely pass through a signal-controlled intersection, it's all thanks to their work. So the next time you're waiting at a red light, remember the delicate coordination of super smart systems that move you through that space safely and efficiently every day.
Officers en route, 914, armed robbery.
We will call to order the City of Lee Summit Public Works Committee meeting for Monday, July 13th, 2026. Could I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Vice Chair Funk.
Present.
And Councilmember Adkins. Councilmember Cravens.
Here.
And Councilmember Shields.
Here.
Thank you. Knowing no changes to the agenda, I would look for a motion to approve the agenda.
Chair, I move to approve the agenda as presented. A second.
I got a motion and a second. Could I get a vote, please?
Yes. Vice Chair Funk.
Yes.
Councilmember Cravens.
Aye.
And Mayor Pro Tem Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. And the agenda is approved. Any public comments tonight? Nobody wanted to come hang out with us tonight? Okay. We'll move on to our first item of business. Item A, 2026-7734, approval of the June 8th, 2026 Public Works Committee action letter. Can I get a motion, please?
I move to approve the June 8th, 2026 Public Works Committee action letter.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Could I get a vote, please?
Yes. Vice Chair Funk.
Yes.
And Councilmember Cravens.
Aye.
And Mayor Pro Tem Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. We will move on to item B, TMP 3724, an ordinance approving change order number 1 to the on-call agreement 2024-057-2R for the construction of Southeast 5th Storm Repair, WO131527, with the Wiedenmann Inc. for an increase in the contract price of $128,677.99 for a revised agreement amount of $469,928.99 and authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for the same.
Good evening, Karen Quackenbush, Senior Staff Engineer. The agenda item in front of you today is for a change order for the 5th Street Storm Repair Project. We had a citizen report a sinkhole on the north side of 5th Street in the vicinity of Onyx Drive and Bristol Drive. If it helps, I have a map of where we're at in the city. Could I get the overhead, please? Oh, sorry. There we go. So the 5th Street Storm Project is located along 5th Street. It's behind the Prairie View Elementary School on Todd George. 5th Street is a collector street, and so with the report of the sinkhole, operations proceeded with investigating the cause of the sinkhole, and we found that the 4 54-inch diameter tubes under the road were failing. 2 of the tubes, the bottoms were completely gone, and the other 2 were very, very rusted. That brought us to work with our on-call agreement with Wiedenmann to install the improvements. It's very common for a project like this to have change orders. We knew that we needed to act quickly to take care of the failure so that we could protect the traveling public. So Wiedenmann turned in an estimate, and this change order reflects some increased work that we encountered in the field. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so this is an on-call agreement where we basically have pre-approved using their services, and then when an emergency situation like this comes up, then that's why it's a change order. So it's saying like we have sort of like a pre-approved rate with them, and then they just say, okay, this is a scope of work under that pre-approved contract?
Yes, ma'am. They provided the scope of the work.
Okay.
And an estimate, and
So there wasn't like an existing storm repair project going on in that area. This is just something that came up
Correct.
through a
Yes,
through an
ma'am.
issue. Gotcha. Okay. Those are all my questions. Thank you.
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem, this is just a good example of a different alternative delivery, more like a job order for those that are in the construction industry, where we go and we competitively bid the unit prices like you were talking about for the hourly rates, equipment, those sort of things, materials, and then we have them on call to perform those job orders upon request.
And
Yes.
how long between when the sinkhole was found and when you're able to start work?
It was
By going
found
through
in
the
the
excavator.
summer of 2024.
Okay.
I'm going to say July, and they began replacing in February of this year, 2026. So approximately a year and a half
Okay.
from sinkhole to mobilizing on site.
So why does the amendment come through now? What happened between like February and now?
So in February, they mobilized, and they always provide potholing.
I guess, is it like they don't bill us until it's all done and they know what the total cost is? I'm just trying to understand what's a change order.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, yeah.
So when a contractor mobilizes, they have the ability to pothole, for example, the water main location. We always provide record drawings that indicate an idea of where the water main would be located. Record drawings are not always true to the field. So once once they closed the road and started investigating, they determined that the water main that's located on the south side of the street was going to be in conflict with the proposed improvements. So that is part of the change order. We had to lower the water main to go under
Okay.
the new pipes.
So they gave you a bid based on what you thought the scope of work would be for the emergency situation, but then
Correct.
when they got into the field, that changed. That's why it's a change
Yes,
order
ma'am.
on top of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you so much. That's
bet.
very helpful.
Sure.
George Binger, city engineer. I think kind of clarify your question, how this got started originally was, we have the contractors approved by council. In the capital improvement plan, we have the corrugated metal pipe rehab program. So there's a budget that's authorized by council. So that's kind of like a budget to use. We've used it for pipelining and things of that nature. But we had the authorized budget up front. We had the contract. So that's when we contacted the contractor to get the initial estimate on that. So that's that's the initial authorization that went forward. And so that did not come to council because we had the budget and we had the contract approved. So now that based on, and that's in accordance with our procurement policy. So now that we've hit, the change order exceeds that threshold in the procurement policy, so that's why this is being presented to council at this time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Councilman Cravens, anything? Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem Shields took all my questions. So I would look for, we need to make action on this, right? I look for a motion to send this to full council.
I recommend a motion.
I'll help you.
Okay.
I know you're new to this, so I'm gonna help you. All you have to do is say.
That's what I was gonna say.
Perfect.
Thank you. I recommend a motion to move to council, TMP-3724.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Could I get a vote, please?
Vice Chair Funk,
Aye.
Councilmember Cravens,
Aye.
and Mayor Pro Tem Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. We will move on to item C, TMP 3710, an ordinance awarding the bid for project number P293 for the Southeast Taxilane Construction to Pyramid Contractors, Inc., in the amount of $3,745,809 and authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for the same. Mr. Anderson.
Good afternoon, Mike Anderson, Deputy Director of Public Works Operations, here to bring you another exciting project for the Lee's Summit Regional Airport. I did go ahead and put a drawing up there because when we talk about the Southeast Taxi Lane project, I can see people saying, what in the world is the Southeast Taxi Lane project? So this drawing just kind of puts it in perspective. The little green area you see, that's the current Hangar 2 that's out there now. The orange, that's the terminal building where we're building. And then what you see in the darker blue, this area, that's the actual taxi lane, that's, that aircraft will be able to access future hangars, 4 along the north here and 3 along the south. And then the lighter blue, kind of that backwards C, that's the access road for vehicles, and that'll access parking to the back side of the hangar. And then the end of the road on the south side is actually the future connection and access to the air traffic control tower, the location that it would be. So not only does this project bring forward kind of a development opportunity for future hangars that we have tremendous amount of interest at the airport with, this also gets us one step closer to being what we would call shovel-ready for the air traffic control tower, and that's always just puts us in a better light from the FAA when they're reviewing grant applications and things like this. So this is really putting us in a good perspective and a good position for that as well. We did go out to bid in this in accordance with MoDOT and FAA requirements as well as city requirements. We received 2 bids, one from Clarkson and one from Pyramid. And Pyramid, they were both responsive, but Pyramid was the low bid. And we recommend award to Pyramid Contractors for this project. And with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone? Nope, go ahead.
I don't know that I have any big questions, just I'm really excited to see these continued projects out at our airport, the new hangars coming, hopefully eventually our control tower coming, and seeing all these plans kind of come to fruition. So excited to see this one move on to full council.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you, guys. Everything just keeps rolling along out there, man. Just setting the stage for Michael Park to work a miracle, and we'll work together and make that miracle happen and get a control tower.
We keep pushing.
With that, I'd look for a motion, please.
Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
move to recommend TMP 3710 to full council for approval.
A second?
I have a motion and a second. Could I get a vote, please?
Vice Chair Funk,
Aye.
Councilmember Cravens,
Aye.
and Mayor Pro Tem Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. And we will move on to item TMP 3712, an ordinance approving the award of RFQ 2026-015 to HDR Engineering, Inc. for the Tudor Forcemain Condition Assessment Project in the amount of $1,280,523 and authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for the same.
Hi, I'm Lisa Odell, Deputy Director for Water Utilities. So this is a contract for engineering services related to inspection of our Tudor force main. So the Tudor force main is about 23,000 linear feet. It carries the vast majority of the wastewater from the city of Lee Summit kind of downstream for treatment. So it's very important to water utilities that we know its condition so that we can appropriately plan for any repair or rehab needs in a plan basis rather than an emergency basis. So we went to an RFQ process. We had 7 engineering firms submit, and we selected HDR based on their qualifications. So they will provide planning services so that we can find the right inspection tool, and also doing the design to get the tool inserted into the pipeline appropriately and in a safe manner. And then they will provide under this contract the inspection services. So following that inspection this winter, then we would expect to have a rehab plan and would come forward with hopefully a small project to rehab, but we'll kind of see the condition at that point. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? I see none. I'd look for a motion.
I move to recommend to City Council the approval of TMP-3712.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Could I get a vote, please?
Vice Chair Funk,
Aye.
Councilmember Cravens,
Aye.
and Mayor Pro Tem Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. We will move on to, you don't even have to go anywhere, do you? Item E, TMP 3718, an ordinance approving the award of RFQ number 2026-065 and an agreement for professional engineering design services for the Big Creek Excess Flow Holding and Pump Station Project at George Butler and Associates in the amount of $294,393 and authorizing the city manager to execute the same.
All right. Lisa Odell, Deputy Director, Water Utilities. This project, this is a contract for professional engineering services. Again, we went to RFQ and selected the engineering firm based on their qualifications. This represents a planning study that we would expect to be followed on by an amendment for full design of this project. The intent is that we've got a pipeline that provides sanitary sewer service for the south part of town, kind of south of 50, roughly between 291 and Ranson. So a pretty good service area there, and we've got capacity limitations. So you can maybe picture what kind of development we've got coming in that area that would very much like to have a little more capacity. So this would be just a storage facility to provide basically a wide spot in the line to get a little more capacity in that line. So with that, I would answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee?
So just generally with a flow holding and pump station, is that where sometimes there might be some backup that can create some issues, or how? Because I know we've talked about these projects before. They can.
Yeah. So really, the intent of the project is to avoid the backup. So by providing the pump station, then we kind of keep the line flowing, and we would put it into hopefully an earthen basin. This planning study may recommend a tank of some kind, but to get it out of the line quickly and into a storage facility.
Gotcha.
Until flows come back down and it can go right back into the line for treatment downstream.
Okay, so this would avoid some of those unpleasant situations. I think that we've had these occasionally in town where it's just part of the design, it's normal, but we unfortunately have some sewer that takes a little while to be able to get into the system. Is that, do I have that?
It is. So you know, it's an area that was sized for a certain amount of growth, and as we get more flow coming into the pipe, our options are either to make the pipe bigger or to provide this kind of storage. And just based on the location of this pipeline, providing storage is a more cost-effective approach.
Okay,
so
thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councilmember Craven? No questions. With that, I would look for a motion, please.
Chair, I move to recommend TMP 3718 to council for approval.
Thank you.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Could I get a vote, please?
Vice Chair Funk
Aye.
and Councilmember Cravens
Aye.
and Mayor Pro Tem Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. We will move on to item F, TMP 3719, an ordinance approving modification number 1 to the agreement dated March 3rd, 2026, RFQ number 2026-014 between the City of Lee's Summit, Missouri and Burns McDonnell Engineering Company, Inc. for professional engineering services for the Cedar Creek Interceptor Phase 4 improvement project for an increase of $446,159 for a total amended amount of $751,912 and authorizing the city manager to execute the same.
Yeah, hi, Lisa Odell, Deputy Director of Water Utilities. So this is a contract or an amendment to a contract for professional engineering services. And this is actually just kind of the next step compared to the last project that we talked about. So Burns McDonnell is under contract with us. They provided a planning study and a 30% design. And in fact, they did look at the potential of a storage basin in this location and recommended select upsizing of pipes to get us more capacity in a cost-effective way. So having done that 30% design, this amendment will allow them to go into kind of full final design to get the detailed drawings that we could put out to bid. So with that, I would take any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? No? No questions? I would look for a vote. Oh, did you have a question?
Oh, I do not.
Oh, you did? We have to have a motion. Oh, a motion, please. Sorry. It's Monday. I keep wanting to say yes instead of aye. Go ahead.
Chair, I move to recommend to City Council approval of agenda item TMP-3719.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Could I get a vote, please?
Vice Chair Funk,
Aye.
Councilmember Cravens,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Shields.
Aye.
Thank you. Last one.
Last one.
Item G, TMP 3714, an ordinance awarding the bid for project number P256 for the Cathodic Protection Program FY26 to C.P.Systems International LLC in the amount of $893,925 and authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for the same.
Lisa O'Dell, Deputy Director, Water Utilities. So this is a construction project. In water utilities, we maintain a pretty robust condition assessment program. So I think I talked last month about our water main replacement program where we found mains that need replaced. This program, we look for mains that we could extend their life. So this cathodic protection allows us to go and install anodes along pipes that are at risk. And so the anode, provides the electron instead of the pipe and extends the life of the pipe. So we found this to be very cost effective. We've been doing this for a number of years now. So we put this project out to bid. We received 4 bids. We came in about $300,000 under the estimate, and so we're looking forward to continuing with this program. We'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee?
This is like my favorite one that we vote on every year. Like, I just love things that are proactive, that are looking to extend the life of our infrastructure, save us money, and the fact that it came in under budget is fantastic. So thank you guys for the great work.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Ditto.
If no more questions, I'd look for a motion.
Chair, I move to recommend TMP 3714 to council for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Could I get a vote, please?
Vice Chair Funk,
Aye.
Councilmember Cravens.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Shields.
Aye.
Thank you very much for all that. We're at roundtable from the committee. Nothing?
Just thanks for letting me sit in today. It's kind of fun to get to do my alternate duties once in a while and see what you guys are working on in here. So thank you.
Thank you for coming and joining us, but do you have something?
No, go ahead.
So 2 things, I'll save the best for last, but I've got a message relayed from Councilmember Pryor in regards to some streets that were being overlaid here recently. And she has some constituents that are upset about not getting door hangers and how we push the contractors. Is this something we need to put in the contracts that say if you don't do the door hangers, you're going to be penalized or something?
I believe I know which area she's referring to, and we had a microsurfacing, so it is a type of street overlay where the contractor did not meet the terms of their contract, which does require notice, door hangers and such. And so our project management staff is working with the contractor to make sure that doesn't repeat itself.
Okay, thank you. Something we can stick in the contracts, though, to say, hey, if you don't do this.
Oh, it is in the contracts. It's just, they had told us they did it, it didn't happen, and so now it's the consequence time of doing through that process. It is in the contract so that they provide notice.
I mean, is there any consequences in the contract that say, hey, if you don't do this, we get a 60% discount?
That part I'm going to have to look into a little bit deeper
Okay.
as to what extent those consequences are.
Mayor Pro Tem Shields said she would settle for 40% discount. My other roundtable item, Mr. Park, we had a conversation about possibly this body, and I have 2 wonderful women here that would probably help make this decision tonight, but to be able to allow the city to tell us how much it would cost and get that up to the full council to do a study of I-470.
Yeah, I think this would be the logical next step for the city advancing the I-470 project is to go through really kind of a scoping study to break down what the conceptual design would be, not a preliminary design, just at that very high level with cost estimates, identify what parts could be phased, what the sequencing of those phases might be, if there's any significant environmental concerns. We call these purpose and need studies or scoping studies. I do think that it's within the current capital improvement program. We have a capital planning program that is already through the CIP. It fits within the description of what that capital planning does. And I do believe we have probably a good application of the CIP sales tax where it is an eligible expense. And granted, we just went through an issue where the CIP sales tax was paying for the Little Blue watershed study. We had only made partway through. Jackson County pulled out. That project died, so we have identified some funds that would be available. With the direction of council, we need really the full council, so perhaps tomorrow night during committee reports, this topic could be broached by the entire council to give staff direction to proceed working on an I-470 study. And MoDOT would be certainly a partner in that study, not necessarily financially, but certainly from a scoping perspective. And then that really takes the city with additional information to Washington, D.C., for example, and soliciting grant monies. You know, it's one thing to go there, which just says, we want a big project, we want $300 million. It's a whole nother conversation when we go to those who issue grants, having a scoping study that has a little more purpose and need to it, with perhaps even smaller chunks that might be more accommodating than the total project.
Okay. So you would like to see this brought up tomorrow night in our committee reports to see if you could get the blessing of the full council, or do we just say, go ahead?
I know we've got a pretty packed agenda tomorrow night. Would this be something that would make sense for like a short presentation at a future? Like, I don't want to delay things. I just want it to get the full.
It's probably a question to ask of Mr. Dunning, whether or not just if it's a quick decision by council and we have a majority council direction that you would like staff to pursue that, we would take that full council direction, or perhaps council wants a little more presentation before making a decision.
I'm good either way. I would hate to see it get missed when we're all, 11 o'clock at night and.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, it's fine for me. It sounds like a great idea to proceed that way, and I suspect we'll have consensus on it, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Good with that?
Good with
They could do
Okay.
it in the council comments.
the plan.
I'm all done, Michael. Any roundtable from staff?
Just as a reminder, if people are looking for information related to the city's one ballot measure on August 4th, there's a city webpage that has all the information you could look for on the stormwater quarter-cent sales tax that is proposed. Also mentioned, we did issue the project status report. There's a lot of project activity, so if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me or Mr. Elam. We can get you answers on those. There's a lot of stuff coming up, like roads reopening over the course between now and our next Public Works Committee meeting. Potentially, I think the bridge will start to come down out on 291 over 50 Highway before we have our next meeting. We just reopened the roundabout at Ward and Blue Parkway. Pryor Road, next segment is scheduled to open by the end of the month. So there's a lot happening, as well as in other projects that are taking their next step. Like we will likely have a meet the contractor by the end of the month or first week of August for Douglas North. We received our acquisition date approval from MoDOT, so we'll start approaching property owners on Douglas South with offers to acquire easements and right-of-way. So just making a general awareness publicly for people to pay attention to notices that go out, look for their mailings, pay attention to the project web pages, because there's a lot happening around the city. And then other thing I'll mention is that everything you had on the agenda tonight is going to City Council tomorrow night. So all of these ordinances, this routine business will be for you tomorrow. And then just kind of for forward awareness, the master planning that was put on the council retreat, kind of big rocks, we'll start that off next month, I believe. So should have a staff presentation at a high level of master planning, comprehensive planning, and infrastructure master planning. That's all I have.
Perfect. Thank you. Mr. Elam? We have a welcome back guest sitting behind you guys, and
Yes, please welcome back
Welcome
Mr.
back.
Eisen.
Glad to be back. Thank you.
yeah, you are. Anything else from the council? Everybody good? Go ahead.
I'm sure you guys have told us before, but what is the timeline on the 29150 interchange project? Is that like from now about how long out until we could best case have that reopened?
So I'll just remind everyone too, it's MoDOT's construction project. MoDOT's managing the contract and the construction. They were intending to close, 50 Highway. This would have been kind of mid-June for that bridge to come down. Now they're talking like first part of August. So that gives you a little indication. Originally, we were supposed to be done before you get to spring, really substantially done over this winter coming up, and then fully reopened in the spring of 2027.
Okay, so maybe spring, summer next year?
I still think we're probably in the spring timeframe for what most people will experience. There might be some cleanup punch list items that drag into early summer.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. All right, with that, we are adjourned. 5 o'clock on the dot.